right. So are you like interested in AI and how it's impacting the stock market, especially companies that could hit that like massive $3 trillion market cap?
Mm.
Well, we've got an interesting deep dive for you today.
Okay.
It's based on an article from the Motley Fool. And
Sure.
they make this pretty bold prediction. They say that Meta platforms,
Meta?
yeah, Meta, the Facebook company,
Wow.
they can reach $3 trillion by 2028
Really?
and join the ranks of Apple, NVIDIA, and Microsoft. Pretty wild, huh?
Yeah, that's a big prediction. I mean, Apple was the first to reach 3 trillion
Right.
back in 2022. I mean, just think about that. A valuation that was just unthinkable like a decade ago.
Yeah, totally.
And what links Apple, NVIDIA, and Microsoft?
Let me guess, AI.
You got it. They're all deeply tied to AI. And the Fool argues that the next companies to hit that milestone will likely be riding the AI wave too.
Okay, so it brings us to Meta. What's interesting here is that the Fool thinks Meta could be the biggest beneficiary of this whole AI boom. And get this, it's not even about the metaverse anymore.
Yeah, it's
So what's the deal?
Well, Meta's business has always been about algorithms, right?
Right.
Like deciding what you see on Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah.
But they're shifting gears. They're moving away from those like separate algorithms for different types of content, like photos, videos, ads,
Yeah.
And instead they're building what they call a generalized recommendation system.
Okay, that sounds like a big change. What does that even mean?
Well, it's a single system, one system for everything.
Uh-huh.
And it's powered by these large language models, like similar to what you see with ChatGPT.
Okay.
And the early results are really interesting. It actually seems to be working better than their old way of doing things.
Wow. So what does this like one system for everything mean for a company as huge as Meta?
I think the biggest thing is efficiency. This new approach lets Meta's engineers work smarter, not harder, Instead of maintaining all those separate algorithms, they can focus all their effort on this one powerful system.
That makes a lot of sense. But like, how does this translate into real world impact? Like for me, I'm interested in the financial side of things.
Okay, well, think about advertising. Imagine AI helping marketers create hundreds of different variations of an ad.
Oh, wow.
And then using Meta's massive platform to test all those variations, find the perfect combination.
Oh, that's a game changer.
It is. And Zuckerberg himself actually envisions a future where advertisers just tell Meta their goal and their budget, and the AI does the rest.
Wow.
Which would be a game changer for small businesses,
Totally.
They don't have the resources for all those complex ad campaigns. And of course, for Meta, it means potentially huge revenue.
That's incredible. And, speaking of Meta's reach, we can't forget about WhatsApp and Messenger. I mean, last year, Meta started letting businesses create AI chatbots on those platforms. That's got to be huge.
It is a big move. I mean, a lot of people are saying this could be how they finally monetize those apps. It remains to be seen if it'll be successful.
Sure.
But it's definitely something to watch. And it's not just about ads either. Meta's using AI to fuel user-generated content, too.
Oh, yeah. Their AI chatbot thing. What's it called?
Meta AI.
Yeah, Meta AI. That lets you create images and share them right to your feed or stories.
Exactly. It's a clever way to use AI beyond just advertising. It's like they're encouraging people to try it out,
Yeah.
Which could lead to even more engagement on their platforms.
So with all this going on, is it really realistic to think that Meta can double its market cap and hit $3 trillion by 2028? I mean, The Motley Fool seems to think so, but that would mean an annual growth rate of about 20%. That's pretty ambitious.
Yeah, it is ambitious, but analysts are predicting 15% revenue growth for just next year alone.
Wow.
So if they can keep that kind of momentum going for a few years, they'll be well on their way. Of course, they're spending a lot on AI right now, which is impacting their profits in the short term. But
that investment could pay off big time down the road. It's like short-term pain for long-term gain.
Exactly. It's a strategic bet. And another thing to consider is their free cash flow.
Yeah.
The cash they have left over after covering all their expenses, that's still really strong, which means they can buy back their own stock, which can boost their earnings per share and make them even more attractive to investors.
Okay, so we're looking at a company making big moves in AI, experiencing strong revenue growth, and actively managing their finances to make their shareholders happy.
You got it. And here's another interesting point. When you compare Meta's stock performance to the current giants in the $3 trillion club, you notice something interesting. Meta stock is currently trading at 22.5 times its estimated 2025 earnings.
Okay.
But Apple, Microsoft, and NVIDIA, they're all trading at over 30 times their future earnings.
So does that mean Meta is undervalued compared to those big players?
Well, the Motley Fool seems to think so. And if Meta can pull off their AI strategy, their stock price could have a lot of room to grow.
It's definitely a compelling argument. But is this growth really sustainable? What roadblocks could they hit along the way? That's a great question. I think it's easy to get caught up in all the excitement of AI and what it can do, but we have to consider the challenges too.
Absolutely. One potential hurdle is competition. The AI landscape is incredibly dynamic. Lots of players vying for that top spot. Meta is not the only company investing heavily in AI. They're going to need to constantly innovate, stay ahead of the curve if they want to maintain that competitive edge.
Right. It's like a high-stakes race where the rules are constantly changing, and on top of competition, you've got the regulatory hurdles too, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Governments around the world are trying to figure out how to regulate AI, and those regulations are evolving all the time, which could really impact Meta's ability to operate and innovate.
This brings up something I've been thinking about as AI becomes more prevalent in our lives. How do we make sure it's used ethically? Like, we're basically giving these systems the power to make decisions that could really impact our lives.
That's such a crucial point. It's essential that we have open and honest conversations about the ethical implications of AI. Like, how do we prevent bias in these systems? How do we ensure transparency and accountability? These are questions we need to address as a society.
And it's not just about the ethical considerations either, right?
Yeah.
There are practical concerns too, like what happens to the job market as AI becomes more sophisticated?
And that's a question a lot of people are asking, and it's a valid concern. Some jobs will inevitably be automated as AI takes on more complex tasks. But if you look at history, technological advancements have often led to the creation of new jobs and industries we couldn't have imagined before.
Like the Industrial Revolution, for example, widespread automation. But it also sparked the creation of entirely new industries and professions.
Exactly. The key is adaptation. As AI changes the workforce, we need to focus on developing skills that will be in demand in this new AI-driven world.
So instead of being afraid of AI, we should be thinking about how to use it to our advantage.
Exactly. AI has the potential to solve some of humanity's biggest challenges, from climate change and disease to poverty and inequality.
It's like AI is this powerful tool that can be used for good or for bad. It all depends on how we choose to use it.
I like that. That's a great way to put it. The future of AI isn't set in stone. It's a future we're all creating together through the choices we make and the conversations we have.
So to recap, we've talked about Meta's potential to reach a $3 trillion valuation, the challenges they might face, and the implications of AI for society as a whole.
And we've seen how AI is already impacting our lives in ways we may not even realize.
Like those personalized recommendations we get on streaming services.
Exactly. Those recommendations, the spam filters that protect our inboxes, even the navigation apps that get us where we need to go, they're all powered by AI. And as AI keeps getting better, these applications are only going to become more sophisticated, more integrated into our lives.
I think one of the big takeaways for me is that AI isn't some far-off futuristic thing. It's here, it's now, and it's already shaping our world in ways we're only beginning to understand.
You're absolutely right, and that's why it's so important to stay informed, stay engaged, learn about AI, discuss it with others, ask questions.
It's about being active participants in the conversation, not just passive consumers of the technology.
I couldn't agree more. The future of AI is too important to be left to a select few. It's a future we all need to be a part of shaping.
Well said. I think this deep dive has given everyone listening a lot to think about. It's been a journey exploring not just the world of AI, but also the potential it holds and the responsibilities that come with it.
It's been a pleasure exploring this with you.
And to you listening, we hope this deep dive has sparked your curiosity and inspired you to keep learning about this fascinating world of AI. Remember, it's not just about the technology. It's about the future we're all creating together. Wow, this has been a fascinating conversation, hasn't it? From Meta's AI ambitions to, the bigger picture of AI and society, we've covered a lot.
Yeah, we have. And I think the main thing to remember is that AI is more than just, code and algorithms. It's really reshaping our world in ways we're just starting to grasp.
Yeah, and it's changing so fast. I mean, just a few years ago, self-driving cars and AI doctors seemed like something out of a movie.
It's amazing how quickly those ideas have become reality. And as AI keeps evolving, we can expect even more groundbreaking innovations in the coming years.
It's exciting and maybe a little bit scary, too. Don't you think?
It is. Like they say, with great power comes great responsibility. As we unlock the potential of AI, we have to be aware of the potential risks, too.
One risk everyone's talking about is jobs. A lot of people are worried about robots taking over their jobs. Is that a real concern?
It is a real concern, but we need to look at it from both sides.
Right.
If you look at history, technological advancements have usually led to more jobs, not fewer.
Right, like we talked about earlier. The Industrial Revolution led to a lot of automation, but it also created completely new industries and jobs.
Exactly. And that's likely to happen with AI too. As some jobs become automated, new opportunities will pop up that require skills only humans have.
So instead of being afraid of AI, we should be learning and adapting. Develop the skills that will be in demand in this new AI-powered world.
Exactly. Things like critical thinking, creativity, emotional intelligence, complex problem solving. These are the skills that will make humans stand out from machines and help us thrive in the future of work.
It's really interesting to think about how AI is pushing us to evolve, not just in terms of technology, but also our skills and capabilities as humans.
It shows that we're not just passive bystanders in this tech revolution. We can shape the future of AI and make sure it benefits humanity.
So what can we do as individuals to be a part of that?
The most important thing is to stay informed and engaged. Read about AI, talk about it with others, and don't be afraid to ask questions.
It's about being active participants in the conversation, not just letting the technology happen to us.
Absolutely. The future of AI is too important to be left to a few experts. It's a future we all need to shape together.
Well said. I think this deep dive has given everyone a lot to think about. It's been a journey exploring AI, its potential, and the responsibilities that come with it.
It's been great exploring this with you.
And to all of you listening, we hope this deep dive has made you curious and inspired you to keep learning about the amazing world of AI. Remember, it's not just about the technology, it's about the future we're all creating together.